Hi everyone, Jennifer here, back with another edition of TV Talk. It's Monday, and that means it's Gargoyles Day. And this week's episode is The Vow. Following the events of the previous episode, Eye of the Beholder, Goliath agrees to attend Xanatos' wedding to Fox and learns that Demona will also be there. However, there are ulterior motives going on, and Goliath will soon find himself back in the past trying to prevent Demona from changing the future. Okay, things I liked about this episode. Basically, I liked everything about this episode. Again, much like the Silver Falcon, this is one of the few. This is not one of the few, but this is an episode where we don't have the entire clan, or a majority of the entire clan, in the episode. We have Goliath in this episode, obviously, and we do have Hudson in this episode, although the Hudson in this episode isn't Hudson yet. And by that I mean it's the Hudson in the past, before they were under the stone sleep that lasted for 1,000 years, in which they wake up in New York in 1995, and then Hudson takes the name Hudson. So yeah, it's gonna get the episode was a little confusing because of all the time jumping. Secondly, the Illuminati is mentioned again. I believe it is actually first mentioned in the episode where Matt is first introduced. And we actually learn that a character that we know very well is a member of the Illuminati, and I'm pretty sure you guys can pretty much guess who it is. We also learn that it's been around for a while. Another thing that I like about this episode is that it sets up courses of events that will, not so much courses of events, but two courses of events. Number one, we have Xanatos and Fox having been married. I don't think that's a big spoiler. Which means, okay, that's going to set up events for later on down in the series, which we will get to later on. This also means that we'll probably be dealing with them as a team more often than just them separately. Second off, we have this very magical object known as the Phoenix Gate make its appearance for the very first time in the series, and that Phoenix Gate will be very, very important later on, but a short rundown of what it can do is that the Phoenix Gate is a talisman that allows a person, once they recite a specific incantation, to travel to any point in time, past, present, future, in any place in time that they're thinking of. And that's kind of how this whole mess gets started. Demona uses it to transport them back into a time when Princess Catherine's parents are married, and she attempts to educate her younger self to prevent what happened in the future from happening. So she basically tries to change courses of events, and Xanatos, gets up to his usual trouble as well. But again, like I said, with the time traveling, it gets kind of confusing, and we'll talk more about the Phoenix Gate later. It's going to come in to play in a arc known as Avalon, which will be later on in this series, this season, which we will talk about. So we'll talk more about the Phoenix Gate when that comes up, I promise. Right now, it's there. We see it for the first time, and just keep in mind it is going to be important later on in the series. It is going to come into play for a while later on in the series, and we will learn more about it then. So yeah, a lot of stuff about this episode that it was really actually very, very good. We get backstory, well, not so much backstory, but we learn a little bit more about Fox. We meet Xanatos' father for the first time. He's going to make an appearance, I think, at least one more time in the series. I mean, possibly more. One more time that I know of, he's going to make an appearance. So it's, you know, we're introduced to a new character. We're introduced to a new, well, not so much a new relationship, but a new level to a relationship that was established at the beginning of this season, or was at least introduced to us at the beginning of the season. And we see for the first time a new magical object. So really good. It is setting up events or stuff that will be important later on. Which I like. I love it when shows do that. They don't just shove everything in your face. Oh, here, we're going to just give this to you all at once. Gargoyles gives you stuff in little bits, which I like. It gives you time to absorb it and whatnot. Okay, things I didn't like about this episode. There really wasn't a lot I didn't like about this episode. As I stated earlier, the time jumping that Demona and Goliath kind of did was a little confusing. But I mean, I understand why it was in there. It was a little hard to follow. It was a little confusing and whatnot. And then a lot of what was going on with Xanatos and Fox and Xanatos' father, when they were in the past, was a little confusing as well. Especially the circular talk that was going on. Because it's like something Xanatos was trying to explain to his dad, just to me didn't make sense. It was kind of like a chicken and an egg kind of thing. And still, when I try to think about it, it makes my head hurt a little bit. Or when I try to figure it out, it makes my head hurt a little bit. Because it's like, again, it's like a chicken and egg kind of thing. He claims that he's a self-made man. And his dad said, well, some anonymous person sent him a rare coin when he was a kid that he used to build his fortune. But when they went back in time, this is really not a spoiler because I want to show you why it's very circular and a chicken and egg kind of thing. When they went back in time, he was given some coins by one of the people they rescued, and then gave it to that person with instructions to deliver it to a young David Xanatos X amount of years in the future. And he said, so you see, I basically said to myself, I am a self-made man. But it's this, again, the chicken and the egg kind of thing. It's a circular thing. He had to have been powerful to have money to afford to bring the castle back from Scotland, to awaken Goliath, to lure in Demona, to get the Phoenix Gate, to go back in time to send the coin. So yeah, you can see why it's kind of confusing and why I say it's kind of a chicken and egg kind of thing. And I really don't understand why they put that in there, other than it just, because like I said, it is very, very confusing, especially if you try to unravel it. But I don't know, like, I don't want to spend too much time on that because, again, we could debate that for, like, ever and try and figure out where it comes from, because we're trying to figure it out, because, again, it is a circular thing. But all in all, it's very, very good. Time jumping is a little confusing, but once you sort out what's going on, it's not that confusing. There is another episode later on in the season that's kind of like, I don't want to say it is a chicken and egg kind of thing, but kind of is, and we'll talk more about that later. It's kind of more of a certain person a certain character met two other characters and doesn't recognize them, but they recognize him, and he has to go back in the past to where he meets them for the second time, but to them it's the first time, and it gets confusing. We'll talk about that when we get to that episode. Moving on. Feel free to leave your comments and questions in the comment section. I do love to read those. Please like and share if you're watching on Facebook, or like and subscribe if you haven't already if you're watching on YouTube. And feel free to follow me on Wattpad, Tumblr, Instagram, Twitter, and DeviantArt. I do have my name for those 5 sites right there on the screen, as well as the pictures I use for the icons. Please note that all pictures seen within this video do belong to their respected artists. I own absolutely nothing. The links for the 5 sites I mentioned will be in the description section, if that makes it any easier for you guys to locate my pages on those sites. And if you're watching on YouTube, the link for my Facebook page will be in the description section. If you're watching on Facebook, the link for my YouTube channel will be in the description section. Okay, quick reminder on my comment rules. Okay, feel free to check out my other Gargoyles TV talk videos. My other TV talk videos. And my other videos. Okay, before I sign off, a couple of things I'd like to touch on. First off, YouTube subscribers. Any of my backlog videos that are not on YouTube are on my Facebook page. Again, the link is in the description section. And Facebook friends. Any of my videos that are not on Facebook are on my YouTube channel. Again, the link is in the description section. Also, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will be put on hold, and Race to the Edge will be coming to an end next year. I can confidently say that due to the fact that it's the 23rd of December. And that means that there will be an opening for a TV talk series both on Friday and Sunday. And that means you guys get to vote and tell me which show you would like me to do. Your choices for Friday are Knights of the Zodiac, My Little Pony, King of the Hill, and Wolf's Reign. For Sunday, it's Dot Hack Sign, Horseland, Inuyasha, and Outlaw Star. Voting is very, very simple. All you have to do is write down write down in the comment section which one of the 4 shows listed for each day you would like me to do a video on. You don't have to write down what day. I'll know which day which day each show's for. In the comment section. And or like or love a positive comment on any of the shows listed, and whichever one gets the most votes is the one that I will do a video on. Please keep in mind that if My Little Ponies is selected, I will be doing Generation 1, followed by Friendship is Magic. Negative comments and dislikes do not count as votes. Voting will be until May 1st for Friday, and June 24th for Sunday. But I will give notifications if I have to change that again. I'm kind of guesstimating on Sundays. You may vote as many times as you wish, but please keep in mind that in the event of a tie or no votes, I do have the final say. So far, the tallies stand thusly. For Friday, it is 1 vote for My Little Pony, and for Sunday, 1 vote for Horseland. But we have a lot of time, and anything can change, so be sure to get your votes in and make your voices known. As always, thank you for watching, and have a very nice day.